sending everybody streams of abundance, awareness, lots and lots of positive energy. I'm so excited today, guys, because I've been wanting to make a video talking about the differences between horoscopes, astrology, and zodiac. And while I was doing some research, on the topic, I actually came across an article online written by William J. Beatty on the topic of parasciences, and it was the first time that I had ever come across this term. And it really got me intrigued about whether astrology could be a kind of parascience. See, over the years, people have been kind of labeling astrology as being kind of an esoteric arts, pseudosciences, divination, and all other kinds of words to kind of label astrology, and I thought that, I should do so as well until I came across the term parasciences. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop the term parasciences for a sec, and let's look at the development of astrology. So up until the 1600s, where the kind of scientific revolution began, astrology was known to actually be a kind of science. When modern sciences was fully developed, that's when astrology and similar kind of studies and practices was kind of shoved, out of the realm of the spectrum of sciences into just another box. What exactly is science? So here's a definition that I just found online. Science is the process of discovery that allows us to link isolated facts into coherent and comprehensive understandings of the natural world. Okay, and the Wikipedia kind of, definition is that science is a systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. So where astrology is currently seen as not a science is that it is not testable. So it's kind of being tossed, into the bucket of pseudosciences, along with other theories related to, a lot of them relating to psychology. Theories like hypnosis and Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theories, along with other things, even like the Bermuda Triangle, are all chucked into this pseudosciences bucket. Because how can you test things like hypnosis? There's a lot about human psychology that we can't actually test, but they do work. So I've been thinking that astrology does have its basis, its fundamentals based on sciences. If you think about in terms of astronomy, gravity, but the moment that these entities kind of link to human behavior, that's now not able to be tested. I think that for now it's kind of futile to say that astrology is a pseudoscience, form of divination, or even esoteric arts. For, you see, when you look at a natal chart, I see a tool. When I look at a natal chart, I actually see a tool. Yeah, to me it's like a tool where it's an equipment that doesn't work for everybody, but for some like me and others out there, it makes sense. And it's a system that just kind of explains the gravitational... Sorry, I keep like looking away because like people are sending me messages right now. My relatives are sending me messages right now because one of my cousins is giving birth today and finally gonna have a niece. So, we're all pretty excited and everybody's just kind of messaging back and forth. So I'm a little distracted by that, but I also kind of really want to share with you, okay, things about, that I've discovered about astrology. So, okay. Where were we? It's a system that explains the gravitational forces on human beings. And we do use it as a tool for, self-awareness, self-discovery, helping ourselves and helping other people. But the funny thing about astrology is that when we use it, when we follow the rules of astrology and we just, interpret a natal chart just based simply on its rules, then it doesn't really work. But when we start using our intuition and we put our intuition into our interpretation, then it almost always works 100%. And why is that? So I feel like, in a way, this tool of astrology allows room for the human to kind of seep into the messages that we interpret from it. For you see, just astrology, just the natal chart alone, without the interpreter, means nothing. And the interpreter alone, without having this tool, isn't able to do anything. So in a way, we are one. So it's kind of like history, where history as a tool that we can use to kind of evaluate human behavior and the evolution of human behavior. Is it a science? Can it be tested? Not really, but does it work? Yes. It's kind of also like art, where art is a tool used to express ourselves. Does it work? Definitely. Can it be tested? Not really. Is it scientific? No. So this has really got me thinking about parasciences. For you see, William J. Beatty described parasciences as being a theory, idea, or a practice that can't be tested and proven, but it works. So if you think about this for a second, the reason why human beings have actually been able to provide empirical data, in sciences, to be able to provide empirical data is through the tools that we use. So we've been able to evolve to a point where we have been able to develop tools today, at this time and age, tools that can provide data for what we put in the box termed science. But we have not been able to invent tools that is able to kind of transcend space and time to the point of being able to provide empirical data for astrology, hypnosis, and all of these other mysteries or supernatural things. So parasciences can also be termed as ideas and theories that have not been able to be tested in this time, this day and age, but has the potential to be able to provide empirical data in the future, hence para. Now guys, this is really interesting. I don't know if you've heard of this, but back in the 1800s, the scientific community didn't believe that there were things as rocks in outer space, hence no meteorites, and it was kind of being forbidden to even discuss meteorites in the scientific community. But what do we know now? Meteorites definitely do exist. So, in a way, we've kind of gone past the time and age where meteorite was just a parascience. We've transcended the 1800s, we've come into the future, and now meteorites have become a science. Okay, so I hope I'm making sense with this. This is really fascinating because it's really making me think that all the things that we now, can't yet provide proof, can't test, pseudosciences, could it possibly be that all these pseudosciences are actually parasciences? But you know what? It's best not to label anything, right? Okay, so I feel like I've talked so much about astrology. Now we have to go and talk a little bit about the differences between horoscopes, astrology, and zodiac. But I think it's kind of crucial that I kind of establish for you guys the foundation of what astrology, is, so that you can kind of understand better when I talk about horoscopes and zodiac. So, a zodiac is a term that is used in both astronomy and astrology to represent the area of the sky where the sun crosses the celestial sphere over the course of a year. So in Western astrology, there are 12 zodiacs, as we all know, from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, all the way to Pisces. Of course, different cultures have different ideas about what a zodiac is, you know, Chinese zodiac, Egyptian zodiac, will all be kind of different. A horoscope, on the other hand, is the use of the tools of astrology, and now different astrologers will use it differently, okay, to kind of predict events in the world and circumstances that happen to people. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell you that I am not a big believer of using horoscopes for prediction, because I believe, well, I've kind of known throughout my 7 to 8 years of kind of studying astrology that you and me and you are not your circumstances. You are the response to the circumstances that happen to you. You are the response to the situations, the events, and the things that you go through in your life. Okay? I always see astrology as kind of being 50% counseling, but a lot of the times when we talk about horoscopes for prediction, it's not counseling, it's just plain prediction, which is kind of fun, you know, if you look through magazines and you check your daily horoscopes, but it's just not useful. How you respond to your situation, that is useful, right? So if you're gonna have your horoscope read, your natal chart read by an astrologer, the whole point is that you should be able to transcend, go beyond your natal chart. And you can do it, but you can't do it if you are not aware of what you're made of. But if you are aware, right, of yourself, of what you're made of, you can go deep into it, and then you can come up, rise above it, transcend it. So, you know, this is kind of like why I'm making this channel, so that we can all have a little space where we just make time to be a little more self-aware, have time for self-reflection, so that we can really transcend and be the highest version of ourselves. A really good astrologer, guys, is going to look at your natal chart and help you through the process of awareness, help you through the process of transcendence. Because a lot of the times there are things about ourselves that is really unconscious. The astrologer can tap into those things, get you deeper into those things, dive a little deeper so that you can come up, you know, above it. It's kind of like, okay, like if I tell you to stop smoking and you can kind of be like, yeah, I know I should stop smoking. I'm gonna do it. You know, I know it's bad, but it's kind of like if you don't really know the reason why you're smoking in the first place, then it's really difficult to kind of get a grasp on why you should stop. But if you can kind of figure out that, okay, I'm smoking because I have a lot of stress, then you can kind of use that stress as a way to go deeper into yourself and then come up and be like, all right, now I really need to stop smoking. I hope I'm making sense. Anyways, guys, I hope that, you know, this video is gonna shine a bit of light on the differences between those three concepts, and you know, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know if you've transcended above your natal chart, and what are your thoughts on parasciences? Have you come across this term before? And if you like this kind of a content, then hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Remember to stay positive, stay curious. Bye.